you're all well. Today is Saturday the 18th of January and I want to just have a quick chat with you about my diet and health like I told you I would in an earlier vlog. Before I get into it, it's just going to be a chatty one, so you might want to grab a cuppa. You might see this iced coffee is now made with milk and not cream. Boo! We'll explain why later. Doesn't taste the same. But anyway, grab yourself a cuppa if you want and let's get comfortable and let story time begin, Clyde. I've not even started drinking it yet. You're not getting it. That's Clyde after my coffee. For anyone who doesn't know, I have been a yo-yo dieter for all of my adult life. I was never slim as a kid, but I was never fat. You know, I was just one of these average people. But when I went to university studying and not having an awful lot of money because I was living away from home, I ate a whole load of junk and I did put quite a bit of weight on. And from then I really started yo-yo dieting, different diets and all the rest of it. Any diet you can think of, I have tried. And my weight was pretty stable, I would say, but then I fell ill in 2012 and I spent the best part of the next 2 years in bed, either in my house or in hospital, just going between the two, and that obviously didn't help my weight, especially with a lot of the medication and things that I was on. I put on a lot of weight. I blew up like a balloon. So I vowed that once I was up and about again that I would definitely get on top of my weight issues. And when I started this channel, I can't even remember when it was probably 2018-ish, 2019, something like that. Anyway, I was doing Slimming World and I actually started this channel as a Slimming World channel. Then I moved from that to, I think I maybe did Weight Watchers for a wee bit, I did calorie counting, I did keto, I went back to Slimming World. That's the way my diet has been all my adult life, just chopping and changing, trying different things. The likes of Slimming World would work for a wee while and then it wouldn't work anymore. Probably my fault. I was probably just getting sick of it and getting a little bit too relaxed with it, making up excuses and all the rest of it. And then at the start of last year, 2024, I discovered the carnivore diet, which is a bit like keto but an extension of it. You basically only eat meat and some dairy products and eggs, and that's it. You don't eat anything else. And it worked so well for me. I really, really enjoyed it. I felt good physically and mentally on it. I wasn't hungry. I wasn't constantly thinking about foods like you do on other diets. And yes, it was restrictive, but I didn't mind that. I really enjoyed what I was eating. I like meat anyway, and I love fat. I love the fat on meat, and it was a very high fat diet. Pretty much zero carbs, but high fat. And it suited me well. I lost weight. I felt good. And then I was kind of on and off it a few times last year for one reason or another. But then at Christmas, coming up to Christmas, I decided to come off it. And there were two reasons. I only gave you one reason, which was the main one really. All of the Christmas treats, all the Christmas sweets, chocolates, snacky food, everything like that was in the shops, and that's what Christmas is to me. I know it's not to a lot of people, but to me, apart from the obvious, you know, celebrating Jesus' birthday and all the rest of it, and the gifts and stuff, Christmas to me is being with people that I love and eating and drinking. And so I made the decision, I think it was the end of November, to come off carnivore and then start again in January. But the other reason, in fact, no, let me tell you what happened when I started again in January. I was in the right headspace, I was doing good, and I was ready to get on it again. I was ready to have my creamy coffees and all my meats and no more of that junk and all the rest of it. But I did find myself struggling. I found that I got the keto flu, what they call the keto flu. I didn't think I would need electrolytes because I've been on and off it so many times, but obviously I did. I didn't end up taking them. I got through it, but you get really bad headaches and lethargic and all the rest of it. But I got through it, but then my energy levels didn't pick up. Now, I'm in a wheelchair, I've got chronic fatigue, so I'm used to having bad, low energy levels, but on carnivore, it does perk you up a bit, but that wasn't happening. And I just wasn't feeling good at all. I wasn't feeling good physically, I wasn't feeling good emotionally. And then it came to the other issue that made me stop it in November. And that is, I'm now on a new medication for my chronic pain. I've got neuropathy, I've got chronic nerve pain in my feet, which is absolute agony. I've had every kind of treatment you can think of for it, from your usual medications to acupuncture to infusions, local anaesthetic infusions, all of that. And I've just constantly been in chronic pain. And it got to the stage, sort of the middle to end of last year, that I was really struggling to cope. I wasn't a nice person to be around because I was in agony all the time. I wasn't sleeping. I was crabby. I was horrible. I didn't even like myself a lot of the time. So I did a lot of research into different medications, and I did find one. I'm not going to go into it in detail here for personal reasons and professional reasons, really. I don't think YouTube would like it. You can read into it what you want. But I did come across a medication that I knew would help, but it's not available on our NHS. It is in some parts of Scotland, but not here. So I then did further research into it and found out that I could get it prescribed by a private clinic. Now, it is a prescription, it's all above board, it is a prescription. And I had two Zoom meetings with doctors, going through all of my symptoms, all of my medical history and everything. And I filled out numerous questionnaires, and they eventually did prescribe me this medication. And it has been an absolute game changer for me. It's been a life changer. It really has. It's so good. And I only need to take it every few days, and I get a sleep with it. The pain isn't away, but it's so much more bearable. It's just an annoyance now. It's there in the background, but I can handle it. It doesn't bother me. Every few days it starts to build up again, and that's when I take my medication again. But the main problem that I've got with this medication is it makes me hungry. And it's not just hungry as in, oh, I need to eat something. It's sugar. I crave sugar when I'm taking it. And I was really struggling. I started taking it at the end of October, I think, and I was really struggling at first trying to stay on carnivore with it, because you can't have sugar, you can't have anything sweet on carnivore. And I was taking cheese strings and things like that, and it just wasn't hitting the spot. So that was one of the reasons that I ended up coming off it in November, the carnivore diet, because it's not the kind of diet you can chop and change. I can't just say, right, on the days that I'm taking my medication, I'll have chocolate, it's fine. It's not. The carnivore diet, because it's a high fat diet, you can't mix sugar in with it at all. So I knew that wouldn't work. And then I thought to myself, maybe if I get Christmas out the road, it's maybe because I know that the gingerbread digestives and, all of the nice things are in the kitchen. That's maybe why I'm struggling so much. And so I thought, when it comes to January and none of that stuff's there, I might not crave it as much. So I did go back on it. And as you know, I was all hyped up for it and ready to go, and it just wasn't working for me. Every time I took my medication, I was like, sugar, I need sugar. So I made the very difficult decision. I think that, along with the fact that I wasn't feeling as good on it, wait till I close this door. And the big dilemma that I had with myself when I was thinking about stopping it for good was, I believe in the science of carnivore. Like, I did so much research into it, and I believe in it all. I know how it works, why it works, and I believe in all that science. And I believe that it is the way that humans should eat. So I knew I was going to find it difficult to go back to eating a lot of the carbs and oats and things like that I had basically just trained myself for, watching all these videos and reading all this stuff that I knew, or that I had been telling myself that my body shouldn't really have. So I did I had an angel and a devil on my shoulder, shall we say, and I didn't know what to do. Sorry if you can still hear them barking. I was thinking to myself, what do? I can stay on carnivore and get slimmer and, feel healthier again, give my body the nutrients that it needs, but be in agony and be crabby and not sleep and be tired. Or I can come off carnivore, I can take my medication, because I knew that I couldn't take my medication and do carnivore, it just wasn't working. Or I could come off carnivore, take my medication, be happy because I'm not in pain, not be tired because I'm sleeping, not be crabby because I'm not tired and sore, but put weight on. And I kept going between the two. And then I watched a video from the lovely Jane Day. Now, I've watched Jane since I was doing Slimming World way back in 2018, or whenever it was she first started YouTube. I came across Jane Day, and she's a lovely lady. I will link her channel for you. She's lovely, and like me, she has got health issues that means that she can struggle at times. She has sight impairment, she's blind, but she doesn't let it stop her, just like I don't let being in the wheelchair stop me. And I think that was one of the instant things that I liked about her. She's got the same attitude as me. Yeah, I've got a disability, but I'm going to get round it and I'm going to get on with it. So I've watched her. She was off YouTube for a while, but I stayed subscribed to her, and she came back again recently, and it was great to see her again. And she's very straight talking. She has her opinions, she has strong opinions, and she tells us them, but not in a horrible way, in a nice way. And she does give you food for thought, if you pardon the pun. She really makes you think. And she did a video recently about mindset on diets, and that's what really helped me to make up my mind, because she was talking about how she always used to make excuses for herself, excuses for eating. It's my birthday, it's so-and-so's birthday, it's Christmas, it's the weekend, I've had a bad day, I'm just going to eat, it doesn't matter, I can get back on it, that sort of thing. And she was talking about how you need to really believe in what you're doing, and you need to really want it. All the things that we already know, but the way that she put it across really hit home to me. So thank you, Jane, if you're watching this. And it made me think, do you know what? Yeah, I believe in the science of carnivore, but I believe in my happiness and my family's happiness and being out of pain a lot more than I believe in the science of carnivore. And yes, if it means that I'm going to be happy, if it means that I'm going to be not in pain, then I will eat the traditional things that we've always grown up eating, even although I've done this research to say that I shouldn't do that. I'm just going to go and I'm going to do it. And it was a very difficult decision to make, but I have made it now. And like I said, it was thanks to Jane. So I think I do believe that what I need is to take my medication, and if I need to eat chocolate, sweets, whatever, when I'm taking the medication, that's fine, as long as I try to be sensible the rest of the time. Now, we all know what we should and shouldn't eat, don't we? You don't need a diet plan to tell you that. So I'm not going to go on an actual diet, but I am worried that I'm going to put weight on again. So it's going to be a difficult balance for me. And I think one of the reasons that I wasn't so happy back on it in January was I was feeling restricted, only eating meat and thinking this is all I'm going to eat for the rest of my life. And to be honest, although I didn't feel like that the first time I was on it, I thought I can't go around feeling like this, because I kept thinking to myself, next time I'm off my diet, I can eat that. Next time I'm off my diet, I can eat that. And that's no good. Carnivore should be a way of life. It shouldn't be a diet. So I don't even know if this is making sense. It's completely raw. It's completely off the top of my head. I've not written notes down or anything, as you can probably tell. So The decision has been made. I am no longer on the carnivore diet. I'm no longer on any specific diet. I'm going to try not to be, because then I'm going to be restricting myself again. And I'm just going to keep believing in myself that I'm doing it for me, I'm doing it for my family. I might put weight on. I'm going to try not to, but right now, at this point in my life, I'll be 50 years old this year, and I know it's not old now, but I keep thinking to myself, at this stage of life, when you've already eaten all that stuff for the last 48 years, if you think about the times I've done keto and stuff like that, is it really going to make that much difference to you now? So that's what I have decided to do. I'm no longer carnivore, so I won't be I didn't talk about it anyway, really. I would say, oh, that's me back on my diet, or I'm not on my diet, or I would say I'm going to get my meat for my carnivore diet, but it's not something that I talk about. I don't want this to be a diet channel anymore. I just wanted you to know, if you saw me eating things and thought to yourself, thought she was on the carnivore diet. I'm not anymore. Which is why I am now taking my iced coffee with milk instead of cream, and I have to say, really not enjoying it. But I'll probably come to like it, and if not, I'll just stop drinking it. I wasn't much of a coffee drinker until I started having it with cream, so we'll see. And I really hope that the medication that I'm taking is going to continue to help my pain, it's going to continue to help me sleep. And I have regular checkups online, like Zoom calls with the doctors at the clinic. I think they're down south somewhere, they're based in England somewhere. Like I said, I'm not going to go into details on here about it. If anybody desperately wants to know more about it, then email me. My email address is always in the description of my videos, and I'm more than happy to talk about it privately over email. I just don't want to put it out there on YouTube. So, the other thing, the thing as well with the medication, because it is private, it's costing me £70 every time I need to get it, which is ouchy, because here in Scotland our prescriptions are free, but it's going to be worth it. It really is. And I think to myself, well, at the end of the day, if I really get too huge, I can always do what Granny Annie's doing, because you may have noticed that my mum, Granny Annie, has slimmed down a lot. She has lost a lot of weight. And a few of you have wondered how she's done it. So I did talk to her and I said, would you mind if I talk about it? And she went, absolutely not. She says, I'm not ashamed of what I'm doing, and neither she should be. The stage of life she's at, she's 73, she'll be 74 this year. And, she's tried, like me, tried every single diet under the sun, and nothing was working for her. And this is working, and it is, again, like me, not only has it helped her lose weight, but psychologically she feels so much better as well. And obviously physically, because she's losing the weight, she's feeling better. And she has been doing that through using Manjaru, which is a diabetes, well, it was originally brought out for diabetics to help them to lose weight, but it is available to other people now. But it's not available on the NHS, I don't think, unless, I think there's strict conditions that you need to meet to get it on the NHS, because it is expensive and there is a shortage of it in the NHS. So like me, my mum went to a private clinic, she filled out all the questionnaires, she told them all their history, she's got access to doctors, to pharmacists, the same as me, and she gets it online through them. It's prescribed, it's all above board. It's not, she has tried other weight loss injections in the past and they were rubbish, but they weren't controlled the way Manjaru is. And so that's what she's been taking, and I think it's once a week or once a fortnight, something like that. She gives herself an injection of it, and it basically works by retuning her brain. She can't eat a lot of food. If she eats a lot of food, she's sick or feels sick. She can't eat a lot of sweet things, and it's really helping her to train herself to eat properly again, not binge on junk. She just can't physically binge on junk, whether she wanted to or not. Over Christmas there, she was struggling because she wanted all these things but couldn't physically eat them. And I think she did skip her pen we call it the pen because it's like, it's an injection but it looks like a pen and you just stab yourself and press a button. So she didn't take it over Christmas so she could enjoy all the nice foods, and she didn't enjoy it at all. So it just goes to show, because my big worry with it was, when you stop taking it, you're going to go back to eating all the crap again and you're going to put all the weight back on again. But I think not taking it over Christmas and still not being able to eat all these foods, or not a lot of it, made her realise that that might not happen. Nobody knows, she doesn't know for certain, but at the moment it's working for her and it is working great. So if you wondered what Granny Annie was doing, it's Manjaru. And I would say I would have no qualms now. When she first started taking it, I was very, because I was very pro-carnivore then. I was like, no, you just need to eat meat, that's all you need to do. But now, having seen how it's worked for her and how it's changed her life, I wouldn't have any qualms about using it. The only thing is, because she's getting it online, like me, privately, not through the NHS, it is costing her a bit of money. I don't know how much it is. I honestly couldn't tell you, but I think when she started off it was about £100, but I don't know how often that was. If you want to know more, I can find out for you, but I just wanted to let you know because a few of you had asked. So there's no way that I can afford £70 every couple of months for my medication and that kind of money for weight loss. I just can't afford that at all. I'm struggling to pay. I'm not struggling, but it's an expense that I didn't used to have, that I now need to find. Anyway, I just wanted to come on and explain to you why I'm not doing carnivore and why I'm doing it for my health rather than my body shape. And yes, if I keep getting bigger, that's why. Don't think, oh my God, look at her, what a fat cow. You can think that if you want, but please don't tell me. I know, I see it every time I look in the camera. But I am going to try to get a happy balance, that I'm not eating junk when I'm not having my meds, and that way if I need to, I can when I am. I'm havering again, so I'm going to stop. I'm going to try and drink more of this. I don't know whether I will or not. It's just not the same. I might need to do it slowly. I might need to use half the amount of cream and then milk and then wean myself off it. We'll see. Anyway, thank you so much for bearing with me on this video. And I know there will be quite a few people out there who will judge me. I know there will be a few people out there who've probably sussed out what medication it is, but please don't put it in the comments. Please also remember that it's all above board, that it's done through doctors and pharmacists. It comes from a pharmacy, and that I do have regular meetings with them, and I'm always filling out questionnaires because we want it to be more widely available to people, because it has changed my life so much. I told them I'm willing to actually get a discount. The £70 is discounted because I'm happy to put my experiences forward online anonymously, because they're trying to get the evidence that they need to get it more widespread. Anyway, I'm definitely going to go this time. So thank you for bearing with me. And please do talk to me in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts. I don't mind if you're judgy, just don't be nasty. And the same with Granny Annie's. If you've got anything nasty to say, just don't say it. If you've got anything positive to say, please do, because we love to hear all that. And a lot of my other viewers read the comments as well, and I don't want them seeing negativity. It's not fair on them either. So anyway, if you have enjoyed this, please do hit the thumbs up button. Please remember how difficult it was for me to actually make this and talk to you about it, given my journey over the last few years. And please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in our next one. Thanks everyone. Bye.